Just another day for encouragement series, part 6. If you've watched any of the other parts of the series, you realize that we're big on motivation and helping our fellow man be more encouraged to be able to step into their purpose, to be able to continue to flourish in what's going on in their livelihood. People are just now getting in here. I got my coffee with me today. It reminds me of that commercial. That guy was talking on that McDonald's commercial about hey, don't talk to me. I haven't had my coffee yet, so I better get me a big old swig. Inspiration, motivation, and continuing to be thankful are the biggest things that's keeping me going in my life. God has continued moving. God has continued to bring new opportunities. All we're having to do is just be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. It's easy to compete with other people. I'm for competition, but I'm for being my best for my family. I'm for being my best for my friends. I'm definitely being my best for my grandchildren. Man, those guys really keep me on my toes. They got so much energy. I just remember back in those days, we didn't have the internet when I was growing up, which is kind of hard to believe. You think about it now. Now that we have it, I can't remember how I was doing things when we didn't have it. I do remember that when I was doing the church newsletter, I had a brother word processor, and I had to sit there and cut pictures out and then place them on the paper, then print them out, do a bunch of different stuff. Now it's just so easy. You can type it right in there, or work with artificial intelligence and just get it right out there. These things are continuing to advance. I'm really looking forward to what this channel's doing. I'm really looking forward to the people I'm continually meeting, and they have encouraged me. You know, I am overly pleased about how this has been going. I've been having a lot of people coming on there. Now it's not as many people as maybe some other people have, but when you just get to starting out, people have to realize that they that they know you, and they just want to get to know you and get to know what your niche is, what you're encouraged about, getting to know just you as a person. And me, I'm a pretty simple guy. Uh, I'm definitely brave, and I'm brave from a standpoint that I'm going to stand in my spirit. I'm going to be present where I am. It's it's okay to have an imagination on what you want to accomplish, but be present in the present moment. Guys, how production went yesterday, it's gonna go better today. It's gonna go way better. You're gonna have a lot more advancement to what's going on with you. You're gonna have a lot more movement to the goals and aspirations that we've been talking about. We've been harping on. We've been continuing to consider the greatness of what we have for ourselves and other people. Because when you encourage others, and in the meantime, you encourage yourself. I'm getting very encouraged by continuing to do this series, continuing to meet new people, continuing to come to people where they are and realize that I've had several things that's went on in my life that have put me to a whole nother thought process, a whole nother mindset, if you will. These things continue to shape, mold me into a whole new person. a whole new wineskin. Because it definitely says in the Bible that you can't put new wine into old wineskins. And meaning that some of the things that we think and that we've always held on to, we have to be able to let some of those things go. We have to be able to adapt to our surroundings because things aren't the same as they once were. Things are better in some ways and they've regressed in other ways. But the ways that we're concerned about is the progression, where we're going, the upward mobility in our encouragement, in our lives, in our personal lives, in our relationships. All that's going to take off, guys. We just have to have a different mindset and be brave in our focus and be brave in what we continue to do. Now, guys, I'll go ahead and tell you, I see some people's in the chat there. I'll go ahead and say hi to you. Now, I'm a little bit of ways away from my phone, but I can't actually see the screen. But I do see that some people in here, and I do appreciate it. And you said hi, and I do appreciate that. But we'd like to continue to encourage. We want to continue to uplift. We want to continue to be the best versions of ourselves that we're going to continue to be. And we're going to do it together. We're going to build together. We're going to make it to where we go to the next level and continually encourage one another, continually just be thankful for where we're at currently, but keep in mind to where the goals and aspirations are going. Now, as I was mentioning before some of you came in here, the production that you had on the floor yesterday in your business, it's going to be more than it was yesterday. It's going to be more than it was yesterday because you're going to have a different mindset than you had yesterday. Yesterday, everything was fine, but every day is a new day. And today is the day that we're going to go to that next level. We're going to reach for that new position that we've been trying to get. We are going to go ahead and start on that project that we've been holding back on. The that that house you just built, that deck you just built, those nice objects that you just printed on your 3D printer, man, those things are going to be lit today. And what I mean by lit is on the next level, extra lit, if you will. I've been so happy about it. I've been running into so many different walks of life. I've been running into people that are survivors of cancer, such as myself. I've been running into people that are fellow entrepreneurs, such as myself. I've been running into people that are into church and doing things for your church and trying to help people from that standpoint. And I'm also walking in those footsteps as well. Man, we have to continually train and continually look at ourselves from a standpoint of like watching our own film. That's why it's so good to have this online because I can turn around and look at it myself and been like, man, you were really on to something that day. You was really on to something from a standpoint of some new people were stopping by. Some new people were having some positive things to say about the momentum that we're getting. Excuse me. That's fairly tasty right there. But just encouragement, inspiration, motivation, Christian motivation. In Hebrews 13:1, it says to let brotherly love continue. By you being in here fellowshipping with me, shooting the breeze with me, coming by, visiting with me. You might pass by, then you might come back again. But that's fellowship. Even if you just come in and watch a few moments and say hi, if you will, that is all appreciated. That is all encouragement for us. That makes me come back the next time and be ready to go for it again. Man, think about where you were maybe a year ago at this time. Now, you may have been, in your opinion, doing a little bit better, or you may think that you were doing a little bit worse. But in my opinion, the days you thought you were doing worse were days that you were sitting back, you were double checking your processes, you were making sure to measure twice and cut once, if you will. You were making sure to make sure that your co-workers were on their square for the day. You was making sure to continue to have something positive to say in the morning. If you just walk past somebody and tell your coworker good morning, that's a step in the right direction. That same guy is going to get you that material on the forklift when you're about to run out and you're getting ready to meet your quota and surpass it. You're going to surpass it today. You're going to put out more batteries than you put out before. So all those people that work at Johnson Controls or Clarios, I won't call out any personal names, but you guys need to go ahead and realize you're the best at what you do. I don't have to tell you that. You already thought that. You already thought that in your mind. You already thought that in your mindset. Your kids, your wife, your husband, those people know that you're the best at what you do. And if you're a cook, I heard you was a mean cook. You could saute and cut up them onions and bell peppers and get that on in there and get that smelling just right and season it up. You have that smelling better than the meat. You ain't even put the meat in there yet. That is preparation. That is polishing your craft. Each time you do something, don't feel like you got to perfect it. Because if you look at the whole train of things and then stand back for a second, you yourself can see little bits and pieces of ways that you can improve it, ways that you can move forward on your construction project, ways that you can go ahead and move forward with that demolition of that room that you've been putting off. We are our own biggest enemy at times because procrastination stops all our goals, aspirations, and dreams. And all those things begin with just a few thoughts. With just a few thoughts in your mind, you started that business that everybody said, wasn't going to work. But look at you now, 5 years later, 10 years later, maybe even 20 years later for some of us. That is dedication and a continued drive to realize that you are more than enough to do the best that you can. But when you put more thought processes and more knowledge, gaining more knowledge from coworkers, friends, or family members, or people that you would meet, don't be the one that's always the know-it-all. Be the one that's willing to soak up what other people know. And what other people know may be just a few steps ahead of us, but we're right there. Now, I'm not saying, that you have to be a way to where you don't never have an input on anything. But what I'm saying is be receptive of knowledge from any source. Because when you least expect it, you can learn the most. You can learn the most by fellowshipping and continue to have on that right track. Put your best foot forward, your left, your right, your left, and your right are all steps. Even the ones that stumble a little bit, even times, when we trip over our steps or whatever. Like I've been meaning to go back and get my fishing license for the longest. Now I had fishing license when I was in another state, but I have yet to get a fishing license where I am currently. You know, it's not as hot as it's going to be. I know next month and the month after that, August in Missouri gets plumb ridiculous. Now I know it's not in California or it's not, someplace like that. But I'm here to tell you 100 degrees is here too. 80, 90 degrees is right here too. And they're least expected because we have that unpredictable weather. At least you have it to where if you're next to the ocean or something, you can catch a breeze or something when you go out in the morning and sit on the porch and have your coffee. But me, we're landlocked. We got the river next to us, but the river's not definitely nowhere near the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, all those beautiful bodies of water that I can't wait to get to sometime this summer. Now I'm gonna do some traveling. I got to do it. I got to do it. I don't. I'm not too keen on the driving part, but when you get to where you're going, that's where the fun starts. And you just sit there and just soak in the sun, soak in the atmosphere, meet a few new people. I don't know. You may even meet a friend or two. But I'm here to tell you that yesterday is behind us. We're gonna flip the page. We don't read the book backwards. We're gonna continue to be mindful of our present surroundings, but we're gonna prepare. We're gonna be like that squirrel that's getting all his food ready, all the walnuts and chestnuts or whatever different foods that it eats is preparing ahead of time. Because you got to think about it. Their hands are really small. So they got to get a lot of stuff. I mean, they're small themselves, but they work at a rapid pace. They realize the pace at what they were yesterday is maybe a pace that they would have to speed up today. Maybe it's a pace that is comfortable, but it's not being fruitful in our results. Our results are to the point to where we can be happy about them, we can be middle ground on them, or we can feel a way about them. But pat yourself on back, dust yourself off from yesterday, and get back to pressing forward to our purpose. Pressing forward to this purpose that we're going to continue to have a mindset to where nothing is going to knock us off our square. Nothing is going to take us back from where we've come or where we're going or where we're at. Where we are at is here right now, receiving encouragement. This is part 6 of the series. If you haven't checked out the other parts of the series, feel free to review back, put any questions or comments or what you would like to maybe talk about in the next episode. But today we are going to continually focus on mobility and upward mobility. Upward, upward, and up. Each step a better step. Now we're going to make our next move be our best move. That best move being going down there and getting that business license once and for all. Going back there and knocking down that building that's been behind your property for so long. You're missing money. You're missing money. You're missing money from a standpoint that you could work smarter and not harder. These things that no one else can do but you. Some things other people can hold us back on. But what we need to control is the controllables. The controllables is our effort. Our effort from a standpoint of if we know that we have a list of things that we have to do and it's a big list, we'll do a little bit at a time. Take a break. Do a little bit more. And stand back and look at the progress and be thankful. Get yourself a cool beverage. There's nothing wrong with some sun tea right now, some lemonade, I'm still on my coffee kick right now in the morning. I kind of drink coffee all day long. It just reminds my grandpa when he'd work, he drunk hot coffee all day long. Now I drink cold coffee and I drink hot coffee as well. So when my hot coffee gets cold, I don't really mind a lot because it's kind of like, eh, borderline of either one. So excuse me. Yeah. If anybody's checking in for the first time, I'm Keith Rowland. I am a cancer survivor, grandfather, father, and motivator. I'm motivated because God spared my life. God spared my life from a standpoint so I can run my mouth to benefit someone else. Someone else from a standpoint that, I don't know, just a simple kind word to somebody can go a long way. A domino effect can happen to the negative stance, but it can also happen at a positive stance. I'm here to tell you that there's room for improvement in every one of our lives. There's room for better socialization. There's room for better personal time capitalization. And there's also room for how we treat one another. And how we treat one another is essential to how we move forward. And that all begins with how we treat ourselves. Self respect, self discovery, self benefits. These things are all things we're going to harp on because we want to continue to be helpful to everybody else, but we first have to be helpful to ourselves as well. We have to be the best versions of ourselves in order to be helpful to other people. I'm great at helping other people, but I'm developing mobility towards helping myself. I need to continue to do these lives, continue to step outside my comfort zone as a person. No one's born being a motivator. No one's born to go through personal tragedies and near death experiences dealing with cancer or what have you. But when we do go through these things and we make it out of them, we are all the better for it. We are all the better for other people that we are affected by, whether it be the people on this side, the people on that side. We all need encouragement. I don't know why a song came to my mind, but I'm always thinking about how people are, let down by other people's successes. Don't let other people's successes be to your detriment. When other people succeed, you congratulate them and be thankful for them, and success will more than likely be at your door. Because when we elevate other people by encouragement, those things, they're going to have a boomerang effect and they're going to end up right back on us, right back on our spirits, right back on our hearts, right back on our encouragement, right back on our inspiration, right back on our motivation, right back on our Bible reading and Christian motivation. These things are continually uplifting. These things are things that we just need to continue to harp about and continue to bring it up over and over again to keep it at the forefront in our mind. And something else that's been concerning me a lot is when I talk to a lot of people, they have a tendency of bringing up things that really bothered them in the past. It's okay to talk about those things, but sometimes when you talk about bad experiences or negative instances in your life to multiple people and continually talk about that and harp about it, how you feel, you continue to give that instance power. You continue to give that negative, whatever that was, power. But when we start taking on whatever personal responsibility that we can take for it, now if it's something somebody did wrong to us, you can't help what other people do. All we can control is, as I mentioned earlier, the controllables. And the thing that we control directly is our effort. The effort you put forward into writing that song you've been writing, or writing that rap you've been writing, or writing that next Grammy Award winning country song, that's all inside of you. That's all inside of you. Those poems, those stories, those projects, those people you were helping at the hospital, if you're a nurse or a doctor, a lawyer, deacon at a church, an ambulance driver, a fire truck driver, a fireman, a policeman, a janitor, a maintenance person, a cashier, a waitress at a restaurant. What all these people have in mind, what all these people have in common, they want to be the best versions of said occupations. And how we do that is how we think about ourselves. We can go ahead and say it to ourselves. I am the best at what I do. Say it with me. I am the best at what I do. I am more than capable of achieving. I'm more than capable of believing. I'm more than capable of holding on to my faith. I'm more than capable of being encouraged and receiving encouragement. I am more than capable of being an honored member of my neighborhood, an honored member of my church. I'm more than capable of being an honored individual in my community. I am a person of substance. I am a person of purpose. I am a person of responsibility. I am a person of substantial goals, dreams. I am a person. I am a child of God. I am a citizen of the world. All these things we all are. And we can do them to the best of our abilities. I see that we can. I know that we can. I'm claiming that we can. I'm claiming that you're better. You didn't feel good yesterday. You're feeling better today. I am claiming that you are going to be healed from that situation. I am considering the fact that someone else went for the same construction project that we did, but they're going to choose our business first. They're going to choose us first because we're more organized, we're more hardworking, we are more personable to the people surrounding us, and we care about what we look like in the community, and we care what our community looks like. It all goes together. It's a wonderful cycle. It's a continued cycle. It is an endless cycle as well. But what I am going to do is continue to motivate, inspire, continue to stay prayerful. I'm going to continue to uplift my neighbors. I'm going to continue to, if I see someone homeless, I don't know to what magnitude I can help. I can point them out to service in the community. I know of several nonprofit organizations that are helping people. The most important thing that we can learn is how to be better versions of ourselves. Nobody can take that away from us. Nobody can take away the feeling that we have for ourselves. The feeling that we want to be considered. We don't have to be ahead of the line. But in order to be considered, you have to be looked at as someone with substance, someone that is sustainable in whatever line of work that you're in. And when you sit up, you put your shoulders back, your chest out, and your head up, you realize that you are the best at what's going on. They're not going to take it away from you. I mean, people can say whatever. They could choose somebody else. They could choose a different business for a contract. But really, in reality, they should have chose you guys. They should have chose your business. Your catering business, they should have chose that. Your event hall, they should have chose that for that event. That tractor that they were going to rent to dig that trench, they should have rented that tractor from you. That backhoe, that combine, that forklift, that trailer, all those things that you have that no one says you do have, they're yours. And you're the best at using them. We're going to continue to harp on these things, guys. They're simple, and sometimes these things say cheesy. They're even cheesy to say, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep harping on it. I'm going to keep believing on it. And if you haven't done so, get down in the comments. Feel free to subscribe to this channel to help me enlarge this platform in order for us to reach out and influence more people, because even if just a couple people, one person, two people, it doesn't matter where you're from, whether it be the village, the city, the province, the state, wherever it is you're from, there is substance that's available for you. You just have to believe so. And until next time, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to try God, and God is going to try you.